Welcome back to Superstarglam. In today's video, I am doing a demo/review on the Sigma X Beautyybird The Dream palette. I picked mine up at a Namie's because I believe currently this palette is out of stock, so I did have to go and purchase it in store. But before we jump into the demo, I do want to say that if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that little button down below. Join the Superstarglam Squad family. And also click the little notification bell to let you know when I upload a video. So now let's jump into the demo, and I will also give you my final thoughts on this palette as well as swatches. So I'm going to prime my eyes as usual. I'm going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in a soft ochre. I normally don't do my brows before, but I've only filled them in, so I haven't set it yet. And obviously the rest of my face is done, so the only thing that I also have not done is the highlight, because I do want to try the highlight from this palette. This is what the palette looks like. In the back, it has the shades and the shade and names. I've only swatched a few shadows. This is what it looks like inside. It comes with a mirror as well, and it includes a Sigma brush. It's a nice brush. It isn't one of those like cheap brushes that just get included or thrown into a palette. It's like a really nice brush. It's like Sigma quality. It's dual-ended, and it is the one side is the diffuse crease F38, and then the other side is the cream color in E58. So I will use this brush as much as I can. I'm gonna take Frenchie to the brow bone and then slowly bring it down to set the rest. I think I'm going to apply Birdie. I don't know if I'm going to apply that all over my eye. I'm going to take the MAC 217 to apply Birdie. Okay, there is a bit of fallout and some kickoff, but that is not always a good or bad thing, so just letting you know beforehand. But let's see how it performs. I'm going to start applying it the outside crease area. Now I'm just going to bring it to the inner, and again just doing packing motions. I don't know if I'm going to do a halo. I don't know where I'm taking this look, so I'm just going to continue applying colors and then see where this takes me. The next shade I'm going to apply is that like mustardy color Caramelito, and I'm going to use this. Ooh, it's really pigmented. That had a bit of fallout, so I'm going to use this right at the edge to help blend out that shade Birdie with Caramelito. That's a really pretty shade, and it's really pigmented. I'm going to take the same brush. I'm going to go in with Birdie again, and I'm going to work on adding color and also blending out at the same time. And I think I am going to connect it at the top. And in case I didn't mention it, I'm using the Morphe M506. I'm going to go in with that diffuse crease brush, the 38 side. And I'm just going to use this to blend out a little bit more. I'm not going in with any additional product. And because I want that caramelo shade to show a little bit more than what it is, I'm going to go in with the BH fan brush, the number 6. And I'm just going to go over the borders with that. Yeah, this shadow is super pigmented. I just covered up the teal shade. Okay, and now I'm going to go back with the M506 and Birdie, and then again just add more color. I'm going to go back with that fan brush and just again blend out those edges. And then with the crease brush, go over that edge. I'm going to take the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I've been using this lately to use up. This is in NC20. I'm going to take that brush. It came with the cream color E58. And I'm going to clean up the center. I don't know what color to put in the center. Okay, I decided on the shade Cafecito. Okay, I'm not liking this brush for packing. Okay, I'm taking this BH Cosmetics flat brush. For added dimension, I'm going to go in with Conchita. This time I'm going to wet my brush. It didn't do anything. So now I'm going to take Milagro and do the same thing. Pack it on the brush and wet the brush. Okay, I still feel like it didn't do much. So I'm just going to move on. I'm going to take the M506, take Birdie again on that brush and just blend out those edges. I just noticed I have some fallout. So I'm taking Birdie and I'm just going to use this to blend out the edges. The only color that's left that I feel is that might be light enough to give me the dimension that I'm looking for right there in that middle is the shade Libra, which happens to be the last pan and geared more as a highlighter, or is doubling up as a highlighter. Oh yeah, this one gave it brighter effect for sure. I'm going to take Caramelito on the BH fan brush number 6. I'm going to bring it to the bottom lash line. Connect it in the outer corner. I'm going to take the diffuser brush side and take that same shade and kind of buff it. And then I'm going to take that same BH fan brush and I'm going to take Birdie and I'm just going to apply it all across the lower lash line. I'm going back to that brush and just blending out the edges. I'm going to take a Libra and apply it right here to the brow bone. And I'm also going to take it as my inner corner highlight. And all that's left is to pop on some lashes and then finish the eye, and then I'll be back. So I pretty much finished everything except I haven't yet applied the highlighter because I was going to dip into the palette. So first I'm going to take Gemini. It is a little bit darker, or let me rephrase that. It looks a little bit darker than what I would normally apply. It's pretty. It's definitely more of a gold highlight. It's nice. I think that this would be, for me, if I feel like it blends in with my skin tone, so it just gives me like the sheen. So this would be perfect like if I was trying to have like more of a natural look and not really have my highlight pop. But I like to have, or at least apply the lighter shade like right at the top, just to make my cheekbones stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to take Libra and I'm going to do that, apply it right at the top. It's still kind of like a gold base, just a like white gold. So I would definitely use these together just because they complement each other. So I can appreciate that including two shades for different skin tones, but also that work together as well. Like instead of having like a pinky tone and then a gold, that would only apply to certain skin tones. Lately I've been using more of like pinky tones or like champagne colors, so it's nice to switch it up, at least for me, to have more like a gold based. I think it complements the eye look as well. Now to finish off the look, I'm going to spray with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Okay, and this completes this look. Okay, let's get started onto the review. I know that this did sell out. I'm not sure about the current status right now, if it's they restocked, if they will be restocking. I'm not sure about all that. If I do find that information, I will put it in the description box down below. But I did pick mine up at Namie's, so I went to pick it up there. I paid $49. It did seem a little steep, a little high, but I do have to consider that they also included a very well-made brush that includes their existent brushes that I believe are Beautybird's favorite brushes, which is the E38 and the E58. Also in the marble finish and the rose gold hardware. So there's a lot of details, so I think that will justify the fact that it is a pretty high price. So again, they did include a very good brush in the palette. So with that said, once I looked into the palette, there is an array of colors. Even if you don't like so much or use so much of the shade, you can appreciate that it is included in the pan, as well as the neutral shades, that everyday shades that you would definitely use on an everyday look. What I do have to say though is that I knew that palette was going to include the two big pans of the that you can use as a highlighter, or she was including as a highlighter. I was expecting, to be honest, for the pans to be just a tad bit bigger, even though it's long or big this way. So they are applying they are including more product on those two highlights, but it's such a thin pan that it makes it hard for you to just use any brush or any highlighting brush. I mean, for me personally, the brushes that I do use are pretty small, so I can't get it in there, but it's a thin strip. I don't know, I just thought I would have assumed that they would have been a little bit thicker pans, just because again they were going to be used for the purpose of highlighters. Now I have swatched a few shadows, and I've also created this look as you saw in my demo. I had no problems with the performance of these shadows. These shadows performed really good. They blended out really good, and they actually had a lot of pigmentation, which I really did enjoy, especially with that mustardy shade called Caramelito. Usually once I blend those out, shades like that tend to kind of disappear, but I was able to intensify it and keep it, and you can actually notice it or see it in my crease area. That teal color, Birdie, I think it's called, yes, Birdie, was really pretty, really pigmented. But I do have to say that I wasn't really excited or wowed when it came to the shimmering shades like the Cafecito, Conchita, and Milagro, and even Buenos Dias. They're all almost similar. I felt like I first went in with Cafecito. It was a nice shade. And then I went in with Conchita thinking that it was going to make it pop a little bit more. And I feel like Conchita was kind of missing a punch, missing a vibrancy or a punch of shimmer. I mean, they swatch nice, but see, I have Milagro, Conchita, Buenos Dias, and Cafecito. If anything, Milagro and Conchita, even in a swatch, like I feel that they almost look identical, too similar. And then you add the rest of the shade. Once you see them all side by side, I feel that for me personally, it was kind of playing it safe with all those shades. I don't know. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, with a lot of these collabs, they're really picking out their favorites or their shades that they like, or their favorite shades, and that's what they kind of throw in their palettes. But yeah, I just felt like they were missing something, whether it was like the intensity or that they just look too similar for my taste. And again, that's just my preference. You could probably love this palette for that reason, that there's a lot of save shades or everyday shades, so it's very useful and your everyday makeup looks. It's just for me, I would have wanted something more, something different, something more intense. I don't know. That's just my thought process, what I was thinking about. But again, there's nothing wrong with these shades. They all performed really good. I don't have experience with Sigma palettes. I think this is my first. Yep, this is my first Sigma palette, so I don't know if this is typical of Sigma palettes or Sigma shadows, the performance and so forth. So I can't speak on that. I would definitely recommend it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the palette. There's nothing that I spoke of, the negative things that I could say that those would alter my opinion on this palette. Those are just little things that I'm just nitpicking about. The pan size, it's okay. You can deal with the pan size on the highlighters. I was able to make it work with a smaller brush. It works fine, but again, it's not a bad palette. It is a beautiful palette. It blends well. It's pigmented. There's no issues with the formula itself. So you gather your own thoughts and make your own opinions on whether or not you would want to pick up this palette. Again, if by the time that I upload this video, there are any updates in terms of the restock of this palette, then I will insert it down in the description box. And that's pretty much it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.